Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. This is Justin.
Wyatt.
And Monty.
Tonight we're taking a look at the RyJ by Romeo and Julieta. I believe it's their Nicaraguan Puro. It's a beautiful little, kind of a light tan, nice little Robusto. Beautiful band, and just that white with the red underline. It's just a gorgeous looking little cigar. Seams are done well. I've got one tiny stretch mark right here, right by the band, but for the most part, this is just a beautiful looking cigar. It's very, very nice. Aroma, I get a very nice, almost kind of like a spicy aroma coming off of it. A lot of tobacco, maybe a bit of earth as well. Very, very nice. And then off the foot. Off the foot, I don't get any spice, but I definitely like a nice earth and tobacco.
It's a beautiful looking cigar. The bands are really cool, like the white and red. It's just very eye-catching. Cigar itself, it's big, thick, meaty looking stick, so it's really, really good. Yeah, I've got a couple little stretch marks on the foot, but I don't think they'll be a problem. Yeah, and the aromas, the aroma off the wrapper is kind of peculiar. Justin's right, it's like a spicy tobacco. That's kind of cool. And then on the foot, to me, it's almost sort of a dry cedar and a little bit of nuttiness. Very, very nice.
Mine is really nice. I really like this. It's almost like an orangish reddish hue. Really pretty cigar. I have a couple of really prominent seams. One of them is slightly concerning, but we'll see how it plays out. Nice and firm, well rolled, I think, other than that. It's a really aromatic cigar. And coming off the foot, I swear I get like just hints of like raisins. I mean, there's a really strong raisin to it, and other than that, really nice though, nice sweetness. So looking forward to this one.
All right, well, let's get it cut up, lit up, see how it goes.
Yeah, it's not a soft flame kind of night. I'm struggling over there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a wind this evening. Try to talk loud enough so that it isn't just wind like in our Illusion 88 review.
Some might say that's all we ever do.
Just you. Just say that about you. I'm good. I'm really good. Very nice.
They really talk about like a pepper bomb, but I really don't get that. I do get a nice pepper, but it's just not super overwhelming. It's just a nice medium pepper.
To me, it's very any.
No pepper whatsoever.
To me, it's very creamy smoke.
Yeah. Very, very creamy. I agree with that.
Very smooth.
The finish for me is just like a nice medium pepper.
It's a nice pepper on the retro hill, but it's not really pepper to me. It's more of like a nice spice on the finish and that cedar.
Definitely pick up wood or cedar notes.
Good start.
Very nice. Well, let's get into the first third. See how it goes. Welcome back. We're about 10 minutes into this Romeo and Julieta. Very, very nice cigar. That's a super light draw for me, and speaking of money, he's got the same thing. But still performing relatively well. I got one little area that might need to touch up, but we'll see how it goes. Flavors are still kind of mild to medium in body, and about the same in strength. I just get a nice like a medium to mild pepper in the finish. I get a lot of like oaky cedar, just some woodsy notes. And what's kind of sneaking up in it now is almost a nice general coffee flavor. Very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this cigar so far. I've had a few Romeo and Julietas, but everyone but this one to me has just been kind of bland, mainstream type of stuff. But this one is exceptionally good. I'm really enjoying it. It is windy out here, so I've had a chaotic burn, but I'm sure that's why, because neither Justin nor Armani seem to have the same burn problems that I did. It's a very loose draw. We're talking about that too, so you got to be careful not to suck this one down. But to me, the building flavor is like pepper and raisin. And maybe it was just the fact that Monty mentioned that earlier, but I can really taste that. And I could see this cigar going really, really well with like a wine.
Yeah, like the guys were saying, the draw on mine is really loose. I have had some burn issues, not too horrible, but I honestly think it's because of that wind. The finish is super short for me. I know we're just a few minutes into it, but that finish is really, really short. I'm getting notes of, just like what Justin was saying, a woodsy note. But that's it. To me, so far, this cigar is really, really mild. But got a long ways to go yet.
Let's get into the second, third, first midpoint. Well, welcome back. We're about halfway on this Romeo and Julieta. My burn's got a little bit off here in the second half, but it might correct itself. I'm gonna let it go. I'm trying not to get antsy. Flavors are still mild to medium, both in strength and in body. Draw is good. It's performing pretty well, except for this little bit of a burn issue. I still get a nice medium to mild pepper. Kind of sits on your tongue. But I agree with Monty, the finish is not very long, so it kind of goes clean pretty quick. Still got a lot of woodsy notes. I pick up a little bit of coffee, and that raisin that both Monty and Ryan have talked about is built for me. It kind of sits there with the spice and that pepper on the finish. Not real potent, but definitely let you know it's there.
Yeah, this cigar packs a little bit of a punch. I've been surprised. This is my second cigar of the day, and it definitely has a little bit of power behind it. But no real flavor changes to speak of. There's kind of a building pepper, but I don't think it's going to build much further than it already has. I'd put this down as an end of your day stick. I think it's a little bit too heavy for the morning. I can see it going well after lunch or something like that. But for me, it's an excellent type of stick.
Yeah, mine's still real short finish, but real smooth. Woodsy, maybe a little bit of the raisin like we were talking about. The burn issues have corrected somewhat. I don't know if that's because the wind has died down just a bit or what, but still a pretty loose draw. But so far so good. I agree with Wyatt. It's probably not a morning smoke, probably too much for most people.
Yeah, let's get into the final third, see if we get any changes. Well, welcome back. We're at the final third of this Romeo and Julieta. The wind's picked up a little bit, so I'll try to talk a little louder. Construction, it's the final third, so I'm not going to bitch too much, but it's kind of expanded and cracked the wrapper, but it should burn right through. At this point, no changes in flavor, just keeping par from the course from the last update. Still mild to medium in both flavor and in strength. Overall, just very nice. Had a nice medium pepper in the finish. Built up a little bit of that raisin flavor. A lot of wood and a little bit of general coffee for me. Overall, I really enjoyed this smoke. I know this is the Nicaraguan hero from Romeo and Julieta and not their standard Dominican. And you can tell it's just very, very different from the typical Romeo and Julietas I've had. And very, very nice. I would give it a solid 8. Definitely would smoke it again. I think it's great for the end of the day. I'd like it to be a little more complex, a little more fuller bodied, but overall really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this cigar. Like I said before, I haven't had too many of the Romeo and Julietas, and I haven't been too impressed with them. This one is very, very good. I never got any coffee, but I just kept thinking, man, this cigar tastes good with wine. It does have that kind of raisin-like finish, and it's got a lot of spice and maybe a little bit of pepper going on. It's also fairly heavy, so it's definitely like a sit-down, enjoy yourself type of stick. Like I said before, this would go great at the end of your day. Scale of 1 to 10, I'd have to give it a 7.5. So I definitely smoke again. Like Justin said, it's not quite as complex as I would have hoped, but other than that, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think it'd be better in a larger size. Real smooth, real short finish the whole time. It got just a little bit stronger flavors towards the end here, but the same thing, that woodsy, the raisins, very smooth cigar, nothing harsh about it at all the whole time. I was a little concerned. Mine, like I said earlier, the seams kind of concerned me at first, but I haven't had any issues. The burn corrected itself real well after the first inch and a half or so, and that's including this pretty decent wind. I'd agree with Wyatt. It's just a 7.5. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Robustos, but I think this could be better in a Churchill or a Torpedo or something. But 7.5.
All right. In conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. And until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.